Welcome to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It's your host with the most. Wow, amazing story here. You want to stick close to this one. You know, on SouFLoTV, we have championed the cause for the elders be respected and taken care of, children be protected, and the sick be attended to, because it's the only way that we can actually have a good functioning society. You know what I'm saying? But there's a breakdown in our society where children are not protected, elders are not respected, and the sick is definitely not taken care of. So, you know, if you ever come from Jamaica or any of these Caribbean islands, I speak of Jamaica specifically because it is Jamaica that I am from, and I don't want to speak of other people's place and then in Augusta. You understand? So when you're in Jamaica and you see certain people walk in the streets and they are troubled in the head, then, as we call it, right? Him head a take him, man, him head troubled. It's kind of a normal thing for us, and we don't really say, Lord, it's an emergency situation, call down, blah blah blah. We just leave them alone, let them be. Even as children, some of them we tease and then run, and then fling two stone after we and we run and yeah, man, a bagman that are a Rickety 69, that's the one we used to call in my district growing up. We used to call him Rickety 69, Dumpling Nyama. And he used to sail some big stone from way up the hill after us because we would bother him. Not knowing that it was somebody's son that was troubled in the head, actually. But long story short, today's story, a woman and her grandson met their end by the hand of a family member who was troubled in the head. I don't know if you follow what I just said. I have to be very careful how I word my thing on YouTube these days because them get all outlandish about your wording. Now, anyway, the story says, by the way, the two first pictures you just saw are pictures of the actual house and the actual community. So a Trelawny woman and her 5-year-old grandson were chopped to death by a relative in Martha Brae last night. Check this out. The attacker is said to be the mentally challenged son of the woman and an uncle to the child. First thing I said to myself is, man, to meet the end of life at the hand of one of your children is crazy, must be frightening. You would never think that you would give birth to the person who would actually swipe away your life, you know? And this is how this went down for this lady. Now, as far as the child goes, I don't know if it's his sister's child or his brother's child, but the first thing I thought to myself, it's not his child. The whole community knows that he's sick in the head. So where is his parents? And why would parents leave their child in a home where there's an individual in the house who is mentally troubled? So anyways, he too, the guy who did the dashway, he too was done off after being shot by police when he reportedly attacked members of the police party who had gone to the location to investigate the incident. So the story went like this. The deceased woman had been identified as 56-year-old Jennifer Gordon, otherwise called Cooley, a domestic helper. So, you know, she used to clean house and wash clothes and them things that make her living. The 5-year-old boy is identified as Levon Walker, both of Hugh Shearer Drive in Martha Brae, Trelawny. The accused attacker is a 28-year-old Levon Duval White. So his name Levon and they used to call him Duval, of the same address in the same house. And reports are that about 11 last night, residents living along Hugh Shearer Drive heard Gordon crying for help. Lord God Almighty, somebody come help me. Why? Oh, help. That kind of cry, a desperate cry. Upon the arrival of the lawmen, you can imagine how long it took from the crying for help for the police to arrive, because Jamaica does not have a quick response, especially in the rural areas, especially at night time where police stations close up and police go home. That ain't like in the United States of America or Canada or England, where you can call police at 2 o'clock in the morning and they're at the house in 15 minutes or 10 minutes because it's an emergency. No, not in Jamaica. In Jamaica, after 6 p.m., if that late in the evening, you're on your own until about 8 o'clock the next morning when police station reopens again. That is something else that I've been saying for the longest needs to change. They need to rotate shifts in and out and make a quick response effort more available to the citizens of the island. So anyways, in a bid to avoid being chopped to death by the mentally challenged men, the police were forced to open fire. A search of the house now led to the discovery of Gordon and her grandson, who were found in separate sections of the house with multiple chop wounds. I'm hearing over 50 chop wounds. So now this brother here is troubled. You can imagine how he was chopping when he was chopping. You understand? So to have over 50 chop wounds, you talk about chop, 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 chop. My head I take me just a chop, 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 chop. And although chop, chop, chop I just said didn't even equal 20. So you can imagine being found with over 50. It is also unfortunate when the police went to the location to subdue him, he attacked them with a machete and the police had to defend themselves, said Superintendent Kirk Ricketts, the commanding officer for the Trelawny Police. I have since gone to the area and spoke to the community members, and I also spoke to the health department, and I was informed that he was a patient who was actually treated as recently as this month here, May of 2019. According to one neighbor who spoke with the Gleaner, this is not the first time that him attack the child, Him attack the child all the time, And them keep him in the house same way and in the community same way, Duval is very okay when he receives his medical treatment, but he becomes very violent when he is not treated. And a lot of the times when they're looking for him to treat him does take off in the bush them and them can't find him. So, when he is not treated, he becomes like this. And to my knowledge, he was not treated upon the most recent visit by the medical team because they were looking for him but them couldn't find him. Ricketts said that the police were providing counseling to the immediate family of the deceased as well as to community members. Another person said him beat the little boy sometime till the little boy half dead, and them have to revive the little boy, So I don't know, this is nothing new. Him do this all the time. And the whole community knows that he was always a danger to his family. So now that it come to this, no one here is surprised. Can you imagine that? Here's a little boy, right? That's 5 years old in this house. Has a mentally ill uncle in the house who had taken him, whether it's schizophrenia or what he's suffering from. I am guessing it's paranoid delusions and schizophrenia, right? And this uncle beat this little boy on a regular basis, beat him. The people in the community says that the man beat him half to death, or sometimes half to death, all the time. Enough time him do it, and they see it. And you mean to tell me that nobody in the community raised an alarm, a protest, go beat down the police station door? No, man, he cannot stay here. I'm telling you, him beat the little 5-year-old half to death till we have to revive the little boy. But yet still he was allowed to remain in the community until this. Until this. How sad is that? So Matty Perkins says, it was a bad idea to close Bellevue Hospital and send out all the mad people on the streets, and to untrained people at home who cannot manage them also. So here we are with our limited resources. Holy Perv says the child should have been removed and protected if he was ever attacked before. Exactly so. But you see, in Jamaica, child welfare is something of a secondary. And you can tell by how many are missing, how many show up dead, how many have been raped, molested, how many are wards of the state. So when you in a home and you get some blouse and skirt beaten, that's putting you half to death, knocking you unconscious, and people have to revive you. And you're in a community who do the same thing to their children, so when they see it being done to you as a child, they just walk past. They don't raise an alarm. Then good luck to you. Only you and Master God can help you to grow up out of that situation, that one day you can actually look back at that situation and say, man, I made it through some rough times. DMP7 says there are many of these mentally deranged, very violent men all over the place in Jamaica. This has gone on way too many times before, and there will be similar ones in the future as well. The public health department needs to be sued by a serious battalion of lawyers for keeping the public at risk. There's one in Mandeville cursing and parading daily on the streets with 2 long knives in his waist. The police or the public health does nothing when he kills the innocent. They will say that they didn't get to give him his medication. You see what I'm saying? Parading down the street with 2 long knives, cussing and flinging stone every day, and police drive right past him like it's nothing, waiting for him to destroy somebody so they can go say, well, we never get to him in time to give him his medication, and when we tried to accost him, we were attacked with the 2 long knife he always carried, so we pop pop pop. It's crazy. There has to be a better solution to this. Mark Todd said, this is the same reason I get about mentally challenged persons. Thus, when they take their medication, they are okay. Whenever a mentally challenged person makes a first attack, they should be put away for a very long observation. We keep on hearing this foolishness out of Jamaica all the doggone time. Percy Jr. says, well, we won't have to worry about not taking his medication ever again. It's sad to hear about the woman and the child. This is a tragedy all the way around that really did not need to happen. Joycelyn says, very, very sad. When we do videos about mental health in Jamaica, it's some of the lowest views videos on our channel, and people really don't care. From the masses of people who listen to these stories, people are more intrigued by the story like this than they are about, okay, what can we do to assist, or what good ideas can we pool our brains together and come up with to make things better. Sure, nobody pays attention. Madman still a walk road with big machete and everybody knows say mad, and they're all waiting from the government right down to him mother and father, waiting to see the bloody outcome before them cry, why? Save we or save him. Leave your comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one. It's SouFLoTV, man. I'm out. Peace.